Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We've got a very quick story here. I'm just going to go in and out on it, just to make you aware of the sort of people that sometimes join the police when there isn't sufficient sort of background checks. We have a man, he joined the South Wales Police. He's 24 years of age, but he posed online as a 14-year-old boy and groomed more than 200 young girls and got them to send him pictures of them, very explicit pictures, or doing videos and things and like that. But he is a policeman doing this. It's bad enough if anyone did it. Anyway, he has been put up. He's been to court today. Only he didn't turn up. He was found guilty before, but this was his sentencing announcement today. But he refused to turn up. Through shame, I'd imagine. And also the fact that he'd have to go out in public and people knowing it. And I suppose it's a case of, how can we put it? He didn't want to face the music. Didn't want to look at the people in the eye because he knows that he's a piece of low-life human scum. Well, it'll be a piece of low-life human scum when he goes to jail for life. Yeah, he didn't even end the life of anyone. Didn't kill anyone or anything like that. But he got given life with a minimum of 12 years. Now, of course, there's two things he's going into prison for here that's not going to give him a good time, where we lead with this. One, of course, is the crime he's committed. People in prison don't really like it when you do things to kids. And secondly, he's a policeman. Oh, he's going to have such a good time, isn't he? Oh, dear. How sad. Never mind. Quick look at the story. So, serving police officer 24, who posed as a 14-year-old boy to groom more than 200 young girls before blackmailing them into sharing explicit photos on Snapchat, refuses to attend the sentencing as he's jailed for life with a minimum of 12 years. And I think that's absolutely fine. I just hope that when he gets there, the people in that prison, whichever prison it ends out being, give him a really good welcome, because they do so love having policemen going into prison. And they also love it when they get hold of people who do things to children. And so think of the bonus. It's like Christmas has come early for these people, isn't it? He's a cop and a kiddie fiddler. Oh boy, they can't wait. I wouldn't give him much chance of making 12 years. Anyway, a police officer who blackmailed more than 200 teenage girls into sending him explicit images has been jailed for life with a minimum term of 12 years. Lewis Edwards, 24, groomed 210 girls aged between 10 and 16, so some of them very young, on Snapchat over a 3-year period. The South Wales police officer posed as a 14-year-old boy and forced his victims to make indecent videos and images of themselves, which he covertly recorded. He then used the recordings to blackmail his victims into sending increasingly graphic and explicit images. He also sent videos of himself performing a sex act, probably tossing one out to children. You know what these people are like. Edwards, who joined the force in January 2021, was charged with a total of 161 offences, which included inciting children to make indecent images online and to engage in sexual activity. And he pleaded guilty to all charges, and he was sentenced to life with a minimum of 12 years. But he refused to attend the sentencing hearing today at Cardiff Crown Court. There he is, picture, just make sure we all know what he is and what he looks like. I'll leave that there for a second. I just want to make something here. I want to make it clear. I believe that every offender must attend the sentencing hearing. And if they fail to attend the sentencing hearing, then the sentence is doubled. And that means that the minimum, so this 12-year minimum would be doubled to 24 years minimum because he fails to attend. He's still got the choice to attend or not. You can't compunk them to do so. That's fine, you have a choice. We'll leave them the choice. But if they know that if he's standing there and he goes into the court, he's getting 12 years, and if he doesn't, he's getting 24 years, I think he'll probably stand. Although, that said, ex-cop, toucher-upper of kids, kiddie fiddler, I don't give him 12 weeks, never mind 12 years. And I wouldn't care. And then, if it came out tomorrow, oh, he lasted a night and then they found him in his cell. I don't think anyone would care, would they? I certainly wouldn't. Pretty sure the vast proportion of people who watch me wouldn't. Anyone who's out there who's got kids of their own definitely don't give a shit about a piece of human filth like that. gets what he deserves. Anyway, Judge, the Recorder of Cardiff, Tracy Lloyd-Clark, said he caused many of his victims severe psychological harm and had caused significant harm to the reputation of South Wales Police. They were already a bit of a dodgy one. I mean, admittedly, they're not the Met. The Met are truly awful. But, you know, anyway. She said he had a pattern of behaviour, making online contact with a girl, sometimes pretending to be someone she knew or through friends of friends, as he pretended to be a boy of a similar age. He groomed his victims, psychologically manipulating them until he had gained control over them. The judge said he would be gaining trust by complimenting the girls and building relationships with them by pretending to be a teenage boy. She added once he'd groomed his victims sufficiently to gain control over them, he pressured them into sending him indecent images and to engage in sexual behaviour for him to view remotely. Under his control, groomed and subject to psychological pressure and fearful for their own safety and their families, his victims would comply in the hope he would then leave them alone. Well, I just do hope that nobody leaves him alone. However, as he intended all along, he had his victims trapped. He recorded and retained images of his sexual acts his victims had been forced to perform. Miss Lloyd-Clark said Edwards would then threaten to release the images on social media unless the girls performed more and more extreme acts. The judge said the life sentence was appropriate because of the level of danger posed to children by Edwards. It was very high, and he must serve a minimum of 12 years behind bars. Personally, I'd have said life and meant life forever. And if I had it within my power, which I don't, unfortunately, I'd have just rope, you know. By his balls, though, not by his neck. Anyway, said these are extremely serious offences, and the defendant was a prolific offender, and he won't change. And 12 years in prison, he'll come out and he'll still be a danger. He'll just be a danger who's a bit older and having done 12 years in prison. He's caused significant harm to the victims, to their parents, their siblings, and their wider families. It's clear he gained not only sexual gratification from his offending, but he also enjoyed the power and control he had over these young girls. And that's what they do. I'm not going to go too much further into it. We're just basically talking about what he is and where he come from. That's who he is. 12 years, okay, fine. I'd rather it longer, but that's what it is. And make sure everyone knows what he looks like. And then we hope that whatever jail he goes into, as I say, he's given a very, very warm welcome. And let's hope that his time passes quickly. And so he does too. Wouldn't want that hanging around at public expense being fed for too long, would we? Anyway, I shall stop there. And I'll come up and we'll round off and just leave that piece of human filth alone to fester in his cell for the rest of his natural life. Or, well, the rest of his life. A couple of weeks. Anyway, coming up. Of course, the worst of it is, being ex-cop and being what he's done, he'll be in the vulnerable prisoners unit, won't he? Nobody will get to him. He won't be in Gen Pop, which is sad. But if he was in Gen Pop, you know, he wouldn't last. Especially if he goes to a nice hard prison. They should stick him in Wandsworth, in Gen Pop, along with some real hard old boys. These big old, you know, gangsters. They'll have a word, wouldn't they? They'll have a word. Wouldn't be much of a word. But it would at least save the taxpayer a lot of money. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Just to let you know that that's the sort of people who join the police, which is why you've got to be really, really careful around them and certainly never let children have anywhere near them. I keep doing reports on the police and how bad they are and how they keep getting contacts with children or, you know, R-ing women. There's an awful lot of them in the police. It's very attractive, I suppose, to that sort of person, isn't it? Got a uniform, got a warrant card, gives you all that power. You're invincible. This one isn't. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I shall just finish and leave him to it. Goodbye.